It's been a few weeks since David was introduced to Shortfield landing and takeoff techniques. These techniques are for advanced pilot training. We are flying much closer to the aircraft's stalling angle of attack, and the aircraft is getting closer to the back of the power curve. This requires greater attention and monitoring of the approach airspeed. If you want to know more about management of the power curve, see the link above. David was doing well, so we sent him solo to do some practice in some very busy, uncontrolled airspace. So come with us and enjoy the flight.
The engine, we don't have enough power on takeoff. It'll be throttle back, mags off, brakes on, stay on the runway. If we get off the runway, we don't have enough power or we have an engine failure, it'll be throttle back, mags off, set it back down on the runway, brakes on. If we get off the runway,
I wouldn't worry about the mags, I would just get that stick forward. That's the first, because you're just going to be hip and it'll just fall like a brick. You've got to get that nose down, that's all you've got to worry about. You might hit the tyres at the other end, so be it. But much better than coming down like a pancake.
Yep. And if we do have an engine failure on takeoff and we don't have enough runway left, it'll be your controls.
Yep.
And we'll try and set it down somewhere safe.
I'm going to sit on the high. Good luck. Off we go. It's going to be a short field takeoff.
Short field takeoff, understood. Three things. Flap set first stage, fuel pump on, fuel sufficient, instruments green, we're good to go. Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693, rolling, runway 13 Gawler.
Pulling back already. Pull back. We get that nose, we're just off it, there it is, they're coming up just light now. Come on when it's ready. Nose forward, get the airspeed back up again, that's it there. Beautiful, good. Then just a normal climb away. Just a little bit relaxed on your feet.
I have to adjust your mic, I'm having trouble hearing you.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, is that better?
That's better.
1, 2, 3. So it'll be a short field landing, right?
Understood.
So what sort of speed will you come in at? What you'll be trying to come in at?
We want to come in low and slow, so we want to aim for about 60, 55 knots.
55. There's very little wind around today, so it should be okay.
And we want nice coordinated movements as well.
Yep. Always you can climb out at 70 knots. You get up, you want to get your height as quick as you can.
And we want to go full flap for this?
I would.
Flaps full. Coming down at 65 knots. 60 knots.
Yeah, the sooner you can set up for a short field, the better. And you want to use as much runway as you can, what's the word I'm looking for?
Approach.
Approach, fine, that's what, thank you. Just so you can play with the angles and whatever. You want to do it quickly.
Now I'll get you on the controls with me as we approach. Just because I haven't flown in a couple of weeks.
Okay, I'll bring the power all the way back now. Not be too high, power all the way back. Carburetor out. I'll jump on the controls if I need them, right? Yep, we will.
Understood.
Set power all the way back, let's go. Drag it there, don't we, with power? I don't need power yet, that's fine. Over here, go away. Yourselves line up on the runway. We're sinking a bit now, so just a trickle of power to keep it flying, that's good.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693 on final, runway 13, Gawler. 55 knots.
That's it, just keep watching that speed. Yep, I got a full stop and we'll backtrack.
Understood.
Nicely done. Not too hard. We're going to walk across very gently over the grass. Paul 7693 will cross on the grass.
Roger that.
Nice and slow on the grass. And stick all the way back. Yep. Nice and slow.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693, lining up, runway 13, Gawler. And make for another Shortfield.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's what we're practicing.
Lap set first stage, fuel pump on for circuits, fuel sufficient, instruments all green.
Good. Just remember the plan is that the minute we start to roll, you've got to start pulling the stick back. You want to get as much weight off the front wheel as we can. But what we don't want to do is pull it so the nose wheels raise it high in the air. So you're constantly pulling back, and the minute it starts to lift off the ground, the nose wheel starts to lift. It's not going to fly yet. You just want to hold it there, and then it'll get airborne. It'll go up on its own accord. The minute it's airborne, you want to get that nose pitched down again. Even if you touch the runway gently a couple of times, it's no big deal. You got airspeed, all about airspeed. Then once you're clear, up you go.
Understood.
All right.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693, rolling, runway 13, Gawler. Brake on.
Yeah, got full power, away you go. Start pulling back already. Pull back, pull back. Won't take it long. Here it comes. Just hold it there, don't let it off the ground. Keep it there, keep it there. Off the ground now, touch the ground now, and up we go. 60 knots clear. Yep. Good.
And set up for Shortfield.
Yep. So we're very high now, so we're going to get rid of that in a hurry.
Setting flaps full. Airspeed 65 knots, 500 foot a minute rate of descent.
All these little manoeuvres, you know, as you're doing now, if you get yourself set up early, everything's done. You've done all your checks, nothing you can do now except concentrate on this quite mildly unsafe approach called a Shortfield, right? So you don't have to worry about anything else but your flying.
Gawler traffic. Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693, on final, runway 13, full stop, Gawler.
Go all the way back. Keep it there. Good stop. That'll let don't touch out on. And 7693 will cross the grass and reline for 13.
Lap set first stage, fuel pump on for circuits, fuel sufficient.
Aircraft calling for a radio check. You're very low in volume. This is 7305, but you're reading you clearly.
Are you talking to us?
No idea.
73857693, reading your 5s. And caller traffic, Jabiru 7693, rolling runway 13, caller.
Gotta get that nose down.
Caller traffic, Jabiru 7693, on final, runway 13, full stop, call on.
Don't get too slow, that's enough. Get about there, perfect. Daylight today. Thanks, I put a bit of power, I don't take the tree yet. That's
Caller traffic, Jabiru 7693 is taxiing for runway 13, caller. Flaps set full, safe flaps, fuel sufficient for flight, fuel pump on for circuits, instruments all green. Caller traffic, Jabiru 7693, rolling runway 13, caller. Caller traffic, Jabiru 7693, turning right, downwind, runway 13, caller. Caller traffic, Jabiru 7693, crossing the inbound lane at 2,500 feet, tracking east, caller. Caller traffic, Jabiru 7693, overhead Gawler Dam at 2,000 feet, inbound, Gawler.
Yeah, traffic Gawler, this is Jabiru 8538, it's taxiing runway 13, Gawler.
Has made that a full stop and are taxiing back, so I will join the circuit crosswind 13 at 1,200.
Traffic Gawler, Jabiru 8538 is crossing runway 1331 en route to 13, Gawler.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693, joining the circuit crosswind runway 13, Gawler. Aircraft taxiing for a runway 13, so I'll make this a normal approach. Correction, I have 3 aircraft taxiing for a runway 13, so I'll make this a normal approach. go around, instruments all green, switches, flaps at first stage, hatches and harnesses are secure. Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7693, turning base, runway 13, caller. Set, trim good, full power, go. 60 knots, nose down, and we're off. Positive rate of climb, so flaps up. Brakes are off, undercarriage fixed, mixture good, fuel pump on, flaps set, instruments all green, hatches and harnesses are secure. 55 knots. Caller traffic 7693, turning base, runway 13, caller. Caller traffic 7693 on final, Shortfield approach, runway 13, full stop, caller. I have 60 knots, bring the speed back. I have 55 knots.
Traffic caller, Jabberoo 853 is departing circuits overhead the field currently, departing to 1,600 feet. Climbing to 3,000 feet en route to the Barossa Valley. Caller. Traffic caller, Aero Puck 7872 is on long right downwind at 13, full stop. Caller traffic. For information, Jabberoo 7385 is going around 13.
Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7252, turning right downwind, runway 13, position 2. Caller.
7252, this is 7872, I will be landing on right grass, 13.
Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7252, turning back, will turn base and then depart, Caller airfield, Caller. Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7252, turning base, 13, departing, climbing 3,500 feet, heading Freeling, Gawler.
Jabberoo 7385, downwind, runway 13, Gawler traffic.